Hello, in this video I'll discuss if Bulgaria and Russia are the same thing, if they're the same country. Some people might think this is funny, especially if you come from Eastern Europe or if you're familiar with Europe and European history. But surprisingly, a lot of people in the world honestly don't know the difference, and really due to the fact that they're not from there, or they're not Russian, or they're not Bulgarian, they really don't know much about it. Just like if you're from Eastern Europe, you might not be familiar with Asia, or you might not be familiar with South America. The same way, I feel a lot of people are not familiar with Eastern Europe, simply because they're not from there and they're not that familiar with the history or geography. So Bulgaria and Russia are two distinct independent countries. Bulgarians and Russians are two different nationalities, and for the most part Bulgaria and Russia had distinct histories. For the majority of Bulgaria's history, Bulgaria had several empires starting in the early 7th to 11th centuries, and even further to up to the 14th century. Bulgaria had several different empires. At one point it stretched on 3 seas in southeastern Europe. It was bordering the Black Sea, the Aegean Sea, and the Adriatic Sea. So relatively it was in that specific area, whereas Russia was, the earliest history of Russia started with Kievan Rus, and then I believe there were some conflicts within what is present-day Western Russia, and eventually Moscow consolidated all these Russian territories under one state, and then Russia expanded to the east, and essentially Russia now is a bicontinental country in Europe and Asia. So for the majority of history, Russia and Bulgaria had completely different histories. Only recently, in the past 2 to 2.5 centuries, Bulgaria was more intertwined with Russia in terms of its history and development. Russia was, the most important factor for Bulgaria's independence from the Ottoman Empire. By the way, Bulgaria was under the Ottoman Empire from the 14th to the 19th centuries, and Russia was not overall, although the southern part of Russia, I believe, was under the Ottoman Empire also. But during this period, Russia was a completely independent country from the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria was not. Russia helped Bulgaria get liberated from the Ottoman Empire, and there was some Russian influence because Bulgaria looked up to Russia during the time, especially towards the end of the Ottoman period, because everything Bulgarian was suppressed under the Ottoman Empire. So Bulgaria looked up to Russia as far as literature. Even we borrowed some Russian words because Bulgaria was completely suppressed. And Bulgarian culture was much weaker during the Ottoman Empire than in previous centuries. And also Bulgaria most recently, between 45 and 89 in the previous century, was a communist country. It was not part of the Soviet Union, but it was part of the Eastern Bloc. So the Eastern Bloc was heavily influenced and controlled and dominated by the Soviet Union. So the Bulgaria and Russia were kind of interrelated in this period, but again, there were two distinct countries, two independent countries. And so, but having said that, you know, Bulgaria and Russia share many multiple things. You know, Bulgaria and Russia are, you know, heavily influenced by the Slavic ethnicity, you know, Slavic history and Slavic culture. Also, the alphabet that was first developed and used in Bulgaria spread to Russia and other Slavic countries. So we share. It's not the exact alphabet. Russia has several letters that we don't have in Bulgarian, but it's really the alphabet. The Cyrillic alphabet was first used in Bulgaria and developed in Bulgaria, and it's also you know, a very distinct difference of Russia and Bulgaria with the West. So we share that, and also both countries are predominantly Orthodox. So these are things Bulgaria and Russia share in common, but the overall, you know, answer I should give you is, you know, when people ask, are they the same? You know, no, they're not. They're two distinct countries and two distinct nationalities. You know, I don't want to give you like concrete examples to compare that to other countries, because every other country situation might be different as far as history and ethnic groups and development. But you know, it's like comparing, let's say, you know, the like Sweden to Germany, or you know, maybe like Italy to Portugal. You know, these two kind of examples, you know, show like some similar cultures and, you know, developments, but they're really two distinct countries. So that's the situation with Bulgaria and Russia also. There are some common elements, but you know, at the end it's two different countries with two different nationalities and just you know, two different developments throughout history. So I hope that answered your question. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions or requests for new videos, please comment down below. Thank you so much. Bye.